everyone. Hello, it's Justin. Hope you're well. A little bit about that intro photo there in the thumbnail. Someone dumped a piano in the middle of the woods. Discovered that yesterday. Befuddles me why someone would do that, but there it is. So I wanted to do this video at that location, like sitting on the piano or something, but it's cold and wet, so we're just gonna do dude with black frame glasses in front of his records again. It's all good though. So let's see, the name DJ Tapefire, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. That's my DJ moniker. My brother actually came up with that one and suggested it to me, and so I said, yeah, I'm gonna use that. There was an actual tape fire when I was a teenager. There was a fire that consumed all my cassette tapes. That affected me pretty profoundly, both in a negative aspect and positive aspect. I won't go into too much detail about the fire and all that, but let's just say, I lost a lot of tapes. It's a bummer. Which leads me to, I've been over the years replacing stuff here and there when something pops up in my memory. And it's one of the tapes I lost, and I'll pick it up, if I see it, vinyl record. So recently I earned a $20 Amazon gift card, and for whatever reason, this album popped up in my head. Really great pop album, as you all know. This is the Rhino Rocktober 180 gram issue. It's a nice flat record, sounds good. So anyways, this was one of the tapes lost in the fire, and it was great to get this and reconnect with this album again. I really like how Need You Tonight goes into Mediate. It just flows. That's my favorite part of the album. So in that tape collection, I had a little bit of everything. I had obviously some pop, I had some skate punk, I had some hair metal, I had some thrash metal, I had rap. Speaking of rap and nostalgia and something that was lost in the fire, this album, The Dogs. So I grew up in Florida, and at the time the movement was called Miami Bass. It was pretty big back then. There used to be like a public radio station that about 1 in the morning on Saturdays would play all local and regional rap. Most of it very controversial. But these guys, their big hit, if you want to call it a hit, was called crack rock, or most people know it as Your Mama's On crack rock. So all these guys were doing is reporting on what was right outside their doors. So that probably gets the award for worst album artwork ever. So yeah, this, and then there was Tipper Gore and a PMRC, which got these explicit lyric warnings plastered all over the place. Well, the town I grew up in, there was a guy 2 grades ahead of me. I knew of him, didn't know him super well, but he was the first person to get arrested for selling an explicit album to a minor. That happened in my town at a record store called Trax. Yeah, the 80s, late 80s and stuff was a weird time. You had the PMRC, you had the Satanic Panic. Very strange. So yeah, The Dogs is one I picked up mainly for nostalgia reasons, and that was lost in the fire. This one, Queen is Dead by the Smiths, also lost in that fire. And my wife got this for me for my birthday this year. It was totally so thoughtful. I didn't expect this at all. I didn't expect her to remember like these tapes I was naming to her over the years, that I lost. And so this came on my birthday. This is it's a reissue. Sounds good. I want to say more about that fire, but yeah, so it was just affected me profoundly. Okay, speaking of cassettes and tapes, a recent purchase. I don't go out of my way to buy cassettes these days, but if an artist I like is releasing something and it's cassette only, I will sometimes get it because you can get the physical product, and it usually comes with a download. This is off Bandcamp. This is called Anthologia Volume 1. This is Moor Mother and an artist named Olof Melander, who is from Sweden. You've probably heard me mention Moor Mother quite a bit in these videos. I really like her music and poetry. So this is an edition of 200. And what's really cool about this is the proceeds are going to go to disability justice. So people within her community, Moor Mother's community, who need help with medical stuff, anything like that, the funds are going to that. So the first $600 goes to cover the cost of making it. And after that, the next $700 they earn is going to be used to help someone buy an electric wheelchair. So yeah, they're real transparent about where all this money is going. If you want to get this, they're still available. Look up Don Giovanni Records on Bandcamp, or maybe it's on Moor Mother's page as well. I really like Olof Melander's production. It's kind of dreamlike, almost impressionistic, hip-hop-ish, kind of like in the vein of Flying Lotus, like that sort of impressionistic hip-hop. Very dreamy, very rhythmic without actually having drums all the time, just it's rhythmic soundscapes, dreamy soundscapes. There's actually live instrumentation on this too. There's a trumpet, clarinet, piano, guest vocalist. I'd highly recommend this. And that fund, Futures Fund, was started by the Afrofuturist Affair. And I forgot how good cassettes can sound with a decent cassette player. And luckily I have a nice little Yamaha, nothing special, but it sounds really good. And you get a download with it. So next thing, I was I listened to this one over the weekend, Swordfish Trombones by Tom Waits. This is where he started to go more of an experimental route. And so a lot of times after I listen to an album, if I'm further interested, I'll research more about that artist. And it was great to go down the Tom Waits rabbit hole. And I was able to order through my local library this book on the album, 33 1/3 books. I don't know if you've never read these. There's a whole series of them. They're great. This is by David Smay, and it's sort of all about the album Swordfish Trombones and where Tom Waits was in his life at that point. But this almost is an impressionistic type of writing. Like, it's not just a linear, on this day, he recorded here with this person. It's a very fluid narrative, I guess. Great read. I learned a lot about Tom Waits I didn't know. And I guess I wanted to share some art with you too. I do make visual art. So first is a collage, handmade collage. This one is called Deft Continuation, and Deft stands for Dead Elvis Flea Market Tapestry. You can make of that what you will. But yeah, I do remember seeing in the flea markets around here in the southeast Elvis tapestries, and for whatever reason, my imagination, when I was a kid and when I was older, led to, wouldn't it be weird if they had dead Elvis tapestries at the flea market? This is also about a mentality that exists in the rural southeast that is a bit regressive, backwards looking, not inclusive. It's unfortunate. it still exists, but it does. So the continuation part of the title is just acknowledging that. Hope you're still here. Next, I want to show you some drawings. These are white ink on black paper. You can see my drawing style often involves a lot of lines. So there's some art for you. So hopefully, if it gets warmer today, I'm going to go back out to that piano in the middle of the woods. Maybe take the dog out there. I think that's going to do it for now. And I hope everyone's well. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.